The executive decree: how a republic fell without a fight. A newly elected president, under the guise of streaming government efficiency, begins issuing a series of executive orders that gradually strip Congress of its power. At first, the changes seem minor: redirecting federal funds, restructuring agencies, but over time, the orders effectively rendered Congress powerless. With each new executive order, the balance of power shifts until lawmakers find themselves little more than ceremonial figureheads. My friends, why this story matters? The worst case scenario reflects real warning signs we see today. While executive overreach may not be at this level yet, history shows that unchecked power always leads to further abuses. If Congress refuses to stand up now, at what point does it become irreversible? The Executive Decree: how a republic fell without a fight. Act 1. The first crack in the system. Inspector General's and Congress's first failure. It started small, a simple executive order, one that most Americans never even noticed. Executive Order 16,002. Federal Efficiency Initiative. All Inspector Generals are dismissed immediately. Their replacements report directly to the White House. The IGs were supposed to be government's independent watchdogs, the last line of defense against corruption, but overnight they were gone. One lawmaker warns, if we let this stand, the president can fire anyone who investigates them. We are handling the executive branch the power to erase oversight. Congress does nothing. For Gen Z and younger generations, this wasn't a shocking moment. It was just another headline in a chaotic world, one they had been raised in. Their history classes spoke of checks and balances, but they had never actually seen it work in real life. Unlike their grandparents, they didn't remember Nixon's downfall, Reagan's scandals, or even Bush's contested wars. Those were just old stories from textbooks. What mattered now was they saw unfolding in real time, and it didn't look like history was repeating itself. It looked like something new, something worse. Act 2, Congress confirms the wrong people, and it seals their own fate. February 2025, Senate confirmation hearings begin. The administration's nominees for key positions are handpicked for loyalty, not competence. New Attorney General, a prosecutor who openly believes a president should never be prosecuted. New FBI Director, a political operative with a history of targeting enemies. New Director of Elections, a former campaign aide who publicly argued some people shouldn't vote. During hearings, evidence emerges that these nominees keep enemy lists. They refuse to answer direct questions about election security or federal investigations. Congress has the power to stop them. Instead, The Senate confirms them anyways. Party loyalty overrides national security concerns. Some lawmakers hold concerns, but vote yes anyways, possibly fearing political retribution or even death threats. Second red flag. Congress actively enables the power grab. For young Americans, this moment didn't spark outrage. It sparked resignation. They had seen Congress fail to act before. They had grown up in a time when climate bills, student loan relief, and voting rights were promised but rarely delivered. Now, the stakes were even higher, and lawmakers still weren't fighting back. To older generations, this was a constitutional crisis. To Gen Z, it was just another example of government dysfunction. Act 3. The revenge begins. The enemy list comes to life. Executive Order 16,022, Public Integrity Act. The new DOJ and FBI leadership launch investigations into domestic subversives. Opposition lawmakers face IRS audits. Journalists critical of the administration face defamation lawsuits. Political opponents are arrested for vague financial crimes. The first whistleblower, Daniel Harris, an inspector general, is arrested before testifying. His home is raided under national security concerns. His bank accounts are frozen. Congress holds a hearing about overreach. The administration refuses to send a witness. The hearing ends with no consequences. Third red flag. Congress finally objects, but still does nothing. For Gen Z, Harris was a name they only saw trending for a few hours on social media. The older generation still believed in whistleblowers, in checks and balances, but the young people had seen too many exposés, too many leaked documents that led to nothing, another IG fired, another corruption scandal, another bombshell report. That changed nothing. Why would this be any different? Act 4. The mass firings and the Supreme Court's betrayal. Executive Order 16,010. Federal workforce reorganization. Tens of thousands of career civil servants are fired across key agencies. Loyalists and political appointees take their place. Employees resisting illegal orders are blacklisted from future government jobs. Congress holds hearings. The administration refuses to send a witness. The firings stand. By June 2025, the Supreme Court delivers its final blow. Presidential immunity confirmed in a ruling 6-3. A sitting president cannot be prosecuted for actions taken while in office. The ruling emboldens the executive branch to ignore all legal challenges. Congress could still impeach, but refuses. Executive Order 16,089. Election stability measures. Only pre-approved candidates can appear on ballots. State election commissions are placed under federal oversight. Mail-in voting is eliminated under security concerns. The election results are called before polls close. Political opposition no longer exists. For older Americans, this moment felt like the death of democracy. For Gen Z, it felt like confirmation of something they had always suspected. The system was never designed to protect them. Final scene. The last citizen realizes it's over. 2027. For Gen Z, this mattered more than anything. They stood the best chance to live a long and blissful life, or to witness firsthand the consequence of its loss. A young activist, Anna Rivera, files a lawsuit against the administration, arguing that the Presidential Authority Act is unconstitutional. At the courthouse, a clerk hands her paperwork back. "You don't understand," he says. "There is no more system anymore." Anna looks around. The American flag still waves outside the courthouse. Congress still holds hearings. Judges still sit on benches. But democracy is dead. And the people who could have stopped it, they talked, they tweeted, they held hearings. But in the end, they let it happen.